Molini, and welcome to yet another episode of Conversations with Langosi. Now, this is the news commentary section where we will be offering insightful commentary and exploring various perspectives on the stories that shape our world.
In today's video, we will be discussing a highly controversial topic, being Blade Nzimande's suggestion to prioritize certain degrees and programs for NSFAS funding. We will delve into the reasons why this suggestion is flawed and why it goes against the principles of equal opportunities in the education system. Let's get into it. Blade Nzimande has been in charge of the higher education sector in South Africa since 2009. As the Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation, he has the responsibility to shape policies that affect tertiary education in the country. Now, the minister made waves when he suggested prioritizing certain degrees and programs for NSFAS funding, not long after we got to learn about the National Treasury's decision to cut the budget for NSFAS funding. Maybe the idea might seem logical and pragmatic at first glance. However, it is vital to scrutinize the implications and potential harms associated with such an approach. With that being said, let us get into this next article. Higher Education, Science and Innovation Minister Blade Nzimande says National Student Financial Aid Scheme funding should be prioritized according to certain degrees, programs and certificates based on the country's needs. But before this discrimination, as the minister called it, there should be a large college sector to absorb students who don't get funding for university education. The minister has tabled the department's state of readiness for the 2024 academic year in Parliament. NSFAS government's bursary scheme aids students who lack finance for higher education. Regarding students in the missing middle, households earning within the threshold of 350,000 to 600,000 rand a year, Nzimande said they should be on a mixed system of a loan and a bursary. His preference was for Postbank to handle loan systems for the missing middle. We have raised 3.8 billion rand and our figures tell us the money will go a long way in addressing the missing middle. Last month, thousands of students were left in limbo by the financial scheme when they did not receive their allowances. NSFAS blamed universities' data management systems for the payment failures. This article can be found on the Times Live website. There you have it, guys. Literally, we're not making this up, eh? It's his own utterances. Anywho, the minister proposed that, certain degrees and programs be prioritized for funding. And his justification behind the proposal was that, his suggestion is to align higher education with the labor market demands and the country's, developing priorities. Now, the minister argues that there are certain fields that have a higher demand for skilled professionals, such as engineering, health sciences, and technology, and that these areas should receive more funding priority. On the other hand, degrees in humanities, arts, and social sciences would be deprioritized. Now, this proposal assumes that the only value of education lies in its economic outcomes, disregarding the importance of a holistic and well-rounded education. Humanities and social sciences provide essential skills in critical thinking, communication, and problem solving, all of which are crucial in any professional field. Also, if you're going to come out here and say that you're going to prioritize the funding, obviously for certain fields that have higher demand, right, for skilled professionals such as engineering, when you guys have been failing our TVETs for the longest of times, yeah, guys, I mean, how long have we had the TVETs must rise chat? How long has that conversation been going? Now, let's talk about the red flags in the minister's proposal. The first issue that arises with prioritizing certain degrees and programs for NSFAS funding is the problem that we have of educational inequality. Ngapha, the purpose of the NSFAS program is to ensure that financially disadvantaged students have equal opportunities to pursue higher education regardless of their chosen field of study. Now, when you have a minister that comes and suggests that some degrees and programs should receive more substantial funding, he is essentially signaling that certain fields of study hold more value than others, which creates a problematic hierarchy within the education system, where some students' interests and aspirations might be disregarded or considered less worthy of support. Moreover, prioritizing certain degrees and programs can lead to a shortage of professionals in vital sectors that may not be receiving the same level of funding. For example, Nzimande's suggestion might push aspiring teachers and social workers towards other fields that seem more financially lucrative or have a higher chance of securing NSFAS funding. These essential sectors, which play a crucial role in shaping society and meeting societal needs, could suffer as a result. In the long run, this could contribute to a scarcity of professionals in areas that already face significant challenges, hindering societal progress and development. Another critical aspect to consider is the potential effect on diversity within higher education institutions. When we prioritize specific degrees and programs for financial aid, that might result in a skewed representation of different disciplines, which could create an environment where only individuals from specific socioeconomic backgrounds can pursue certain fields, leading to an imbalance in perspectives and ideas. A diverse educational system promotes knowledge, exploration, critical thinking, and innovation. By stifling the availability of funding for certain disciplines, we risk homogenizing the intellectual landscape of our higher education institutions. Furthermore, guys, the minister's suggestion might inadvertently discourage students from pursuing their passions and interests. Education should be about personal growth, self-discovery, and expanding horizons. When we start attaching funding solely to practical or employment-oriented degrees, we run the risk of pushing students into fields they might not be genuinely passionate about, but feel compelled to pursue due to financial constraints. This undermines the purpose of education as a means to foster well-rounded individuals who contribute to society in their unique ways. It is important to remember that passions and interests can often evolve over time, and limiting financing options might hinder this natural evolution. At its core, the notion of prioritizing certain degrees and programs for NSFAS funding goes against the belief in equal opportunities, and meritocracy. The relevance and value of different fields of study are subjective, and it is not within our purview to dictate which areas should receive more or less support, especially when you have been failing us as the minister, Mr. Minister. And instead of creating hierarchies or constraints, a more equitable approach would involve, obviously investing in comprehensive career guidance and counseling services for students to help them make informed decisions about their future. It is crucial to empower students to pursue their passions without the burden of financial limitations and encourage them to excel in whatever path they choose. Now, let's explore some alternative approaches that could address the issues raised by the minister's suggestion without compromising the value of higher education or individual opportunities. One approach could be to increase investment in career guidance programs by ensuring that students are well informed about the labor market demands and future prospects. They can make informed decisions about their education and potential career paths. This way, students would naturally align their choices with market demand without the need for top-down intervention. Another solution could be to establish partnerships between universities, colleges, industries, and government bodies Collaboration and dialogue between these stakeholders can help identify skills gaps and develop programs that meet those needs effectively. By involving both academia and industry, these partnerships can also ensure that, the labor market remains closely connected to the evolving academic landscape. Let us not just come here and impose, please. Let us also not forget how he also came out to, complain about how Parliament is making him account too much. Guys, hey, these ministers are becoming arrogant, and that alone is a red flag. Let us get into this next article. Minister Blade Nzimande has complained he is being called too often to account in Parliament. The Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation was appearing before a Parliamentary Portfolio Committee at its last meeting for this year. Nzimande said being called too much to account to the committee does not give him and his team enough time to do their work. Committee Chair Nompendulo Mkhatshwa said the minister must direct his concerns to the Chair of Chairs. EFF MP Mandla Shikwambana did not take kindly to the minister's complaint, telling him to stop policing the committee. Nzimande explained the negative effect on him and his team of having to appear before them frequently. It poses certain challenges on our side. If I don't raise it here, where do you expect me to raise it? In a rally? The minister asked to be released early from the meeting as the president required him to discuss NSFAS issues at a special cabinet meeting. The article can be accessed via the Times Live website. Now, before I get into why his complaint is weird, I hope that you see, Uguti, this article highlights what I said about him, or these ministers becoming arrogant all of a Sunday. And it's a trend among these ministers, guys. Whenever they are called to order or people want them to account for the flops in their department, it becomes personal for reasons known to them, And I'm still standing on this thing, Yokba. If they did their job, they wouldn't be feeling attacked. They wouldn't be feeling belittled. None of these feelings would come up because, again, they'd be doing their job. And also, they'd come back with counter arguments backed up by facts. Yeah. But that's not the case here. Anywho, why I say this man's complaint is weird is because over the years, parliamentary accountability has been a crucial part of democratic governments on a global scale. Ministers are expected to face regular questioning and scrutiny from members of parliament, but this is done to ensure that transparency and efficient governance is maintained. So when the minister comes out to complain, that alone suggests a divergence from this norm, which is unusual given that being held accountable is an essential part of a minister's role. Literally, parliamentary accountability serves as a cornerstone of democracy, ensuring that those in power remain answerable to the public. Ministers are expected to provide updates, clarify decisions, and address concerns. Frequent accountability calls indicate a healthy and robust democratic system, giving citizens insight into their elected representatives' actions. Minister Blade Nzimande's portfolio covers various critical areas such as higher education, science, and innovation. Undoubtedly, these sectors play a significant role in shaping our nation's future. And so regular accountability sessions allow MPs to assess the effectiveness of policies and implementation strategies, ensuring that the minister is on track with the government's goals. Literally. So that arrogance is he must get rid of it. It doesn't look good. It's not good. And it's weird how the arrogant ones are the ministers that are failing us. Literally. One criticism directed towards the minister could be that his complaints sow doubts about the transparency of his actions. If frequent accountability sessions are curtailed, that may raise concerns among citizens that the minister is hiding something or avoiding close scrutiny. Critically evaluating the need for accountability can also be seen as a deviation from democratic values. In a thriving democracy, the government should be transparent, and they should be accessible, and these officials should also be held accountable for everything. You can't now want us to clap hands when you guys are doing good and then keep quiet. Fanis Mosha. Near Mosha. So you must account for your flops. Minister Nzimande's complaints may therefore invite criticism for undermining the same democratic principles that he claimed to have fought for. By investing in comprehensive career guidance and fostering collaboration between universities, industries, and government bodies, we can create a more sustainable and equitable higher education system. Also, the red flags are busy red flagging. The more these ministers come and complain about being called to parliament to account for their flops, they hire the need for you guys to go out there and register to vote, because your vote can actually change things up for the better or for the worse, literally.
That marks the end of today's video. Thank you so much for lending your eyes and ears. I hope that you found today's video informative. Please do not forget to click on that subscription button or light the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any new uploads. Enkosini.